back to our channel. We did take a few week hiatus. We had a terrible sudden tragedy of our friend Nicole, who you guys have met here on our channel. And let's just take a quick moment of silence in memory of her. Thanks for that. So let's get started with a Monday news. We haven't done it in a while, and we're hoping we've got some good ones today.
Yeah, so my first one is about Tesla drivers and the Tesla autopilot, which I've never ridden or driven in a Tesla or anything, but I was under the assumption, I guess, that the autopilot, for some reason I thought that the autopilot stopped working when you took your hands off the steering wheel. Because that would make sense, because they say you can use the autopilot, but you can't rely on it. So,
oh, see, and I figured for autopilot you had to have your hands off the steering wheel, that way it can turn and stuff.
well, no, they say Tesla. I've seen that they've released statements before saying do not rely solely on the autopilot. You need to keep your hands on the wheel in case something goes wrong. You can quickly act. So you're supposed to pay attention when you're using autopilot. But most people don't. It's an autopilot. Of course, if someone's going to buy a Tesla, they're going to use that,
Yeah.
Well, apparently, someone was just spotted, and there's video of this, and it's insane. There's two people in a Tesla, and both of them are, passed right out.
No.
And the person driving next to them freaked out because they thought someone literally just fell asleep at the wheel, they didn't know what was going on. So they were honking. They could not get them to wake up. So they took a video of it and stuff. I'm not sure if they called the police. This doesn't say, but they were interviewed by the news. The person who saw it was interviewed by the news, and they were basically just saying it was really scary. They couldn't get them to wake up. Both the people were completely passed out. You'll see in the video. It is insane. Both of them are just
So the car
knocked right out.
But the car knows to stop when it needs to and stuff?
Yeah, the autopilot works mostly, but there are some issues with it. That's why Tesla basically says, don't take your hands off the steering wheel and you have to pay attention. That way, if anyone gets in a car accident with the autopilot, they can blame the driver
Right.
and not be held responsible. But apparently, when you take your hands off the steering wheel, it does, a message on the dash comes up and it beeps, when you don't have a seatbelt on.
So how are they not waking up?
I don't know, they must have been hungover or something.
They're jet lagged or something?
Yeah, but how freaky would that be to be driving and see that?
Yeah.
And apparently Tesla put out a statement and said, oh, most of those videos are hoaxes or pranks, and the person who saw it said, I'm pretty sure what I saw was not a hoax.
Yeah, especially if they were trying to wake them up.
Yeah, they were honking and everything.
Oh
And
my
I don't think the people in the video have been identified, only the person who filmed it.
Yeah.
So, if it was a prank for, a YouTube stunt or something, we would know,
Right.
But apparently there's been several cases of this. And this is why I don't love the idea of autopilot and, Tesla being this big company that can get away with, people getting in accidents just because they say, oh, you can't take your hands off the steering wheel. There was a person who they were driving with autopilot on, and the autopilot drove them straight into a highway barrier.
Oh.
Yeah, and apparently the driver wasn't hurt. They were okay somehow. I don't know how, because that is so scary. But apparently Tesla released a statement afterwards saying, 6 seconds before they got into the accident, the driver took their hands off the wheel. So that was them saying it's not our fault.
That, or there was just recently construction started or finished up, so their maps for the autopilot wasn't right.
Well, but the autopilot has
sensors?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's why it can pass cars and stuff.
It passes cars? No, this is really
Yeah,
insane.
dude, it does everything. It'll pass cars because there's, how you have a sensor that if you're backing up, it'll beep if you get close. It
Oh, it don't beep.
Oh, no?
Oh, I don't know. I've never tried.
Oh, I guess I just assumed because you have a camera.
I'm gonna try.
But some cars will beep if you get too close to something.
Yeah.
But Teslas have them everywhere.
Yeah.
So basically they can tell if anything comes into that, like if you have autopilot on and a deer runs out in the road, it's supposed to stop, but you're supposed to pay attention in case it doesn't.
Can you imagine getting flung forward because the Tesla's like,
Yeah, you're sleeping, and all of a sudden you get slammed forward.
Yeah.
That would be so scary.
Speaking of self-driving cars, I don't have the whole story on this. Well, actually, it's my story, but let's put the picture up because I think it's hilarious. So I was looking up an address when I was going to Minnesota last month, and I was zooming in to see where I was going, so it brought up Google Maps.
Yeah.
And apparently the car that was driving down the road of where I was trying to look for, the image it caught was so hilarious. I took a screenshot. There's a dog just like standing there barking at the camera.
Oh my gosh.
It's so cute.
That's one of my favorite things is to look up what Google Maps drivers catch. Like
Google Earth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one where this guy in like Britain or something was peeing in his front yard, and like you can't see anything, he's not facing the camera, but everyone in his small town, once they found out about it, they all like started making fun of him and started thinking it was hilarious, and he didn't find it funny, so he tried to sue them, and he lost because basically anything you do out, it was like in public view, even though it was his property.
Yeah.
Anything you do out in public view is okay for someone to like take a picture of.
Yeah.
So like he lost, but I just think it's funny. There's one of an old guy like tripping up steps, and like you know how you can move further down the road?
Yeah.
Well, in the first one he's walking up the
no.
steps. In the second one he's tripping forward. In the third one he's down. Like it's so weird.
Oh, that poor guy.
Yeah, it's really sad but funny.
Yeah. Okay, this one's not a story either, but I'm really excited for this because it hasn't happened in 19 years. So this Friday is Friday the 13th, and it's also going to be a full moon. And it only happens like once every 19 to 20 years. So the last time it happened was in 2000, October 13th, 2000.
Oh, 2000, the new millennia? Like,
Yeah.
That's pretty weird.
Yeah. So, I mean, people, just watch out this Friday, okay? Be careful.
Yeah, because I'm not superstitious, but I do see a pattern when it comes to full moons.
And if you're a crystal cleanser on the full moons, I'm not sure if Friday the 13th would be your best day to do it. You might want to wait till the next one.
Yeah.
That seems
Well,
iffy.
People always act weird on full moon nights. You know, like I always say, if it's a full moon, like don't go out and party, like just stay in.
Yeah,
Because weird stuff always happens.
I'm kind of thinking that something weird might happen this Friday.
I remember your wedding was a full moon.
Yeah.
Because I remember one of our friends was like, it's a full moon, like everyone's gonna be weird.
I just meant them in video. Weird
Oh.
people come out under a full moon.
Yeah. Yeah. I did just see, I have to look it up because you told me about the full moon thing on Friday the 13th, and then I just saw a movie is coming out this year on December, Friday the 13th. So is there two Friday the 13th? I think it's Black
Oh.
Christmas, I'm pretty sure it's a new version of Black Christmas if you've ever seen that, like
We'll
a
have to
remake.
check. There
Yeah.
might be two this year.
Yeah, because I saw it. I could be wrong, and it could mean 2020. But I was pretty sure that it didn't say 2020, so I thought they meant 2019. And I'm like, that's weird if there's two Friday the 13th that close.
Yeah.
All of my stories today come with funny videos. So this one is really amazing, and I have like a personal stake in this. So there's this video, and it's of a New Zealand fistball player, a famous New Zealand fistball
Hold up,
player.
what's fistball?
I don't know.
Okay.
But
Neither
his
have I.
name's Samuel Kempf, and he was riding a roller coaster at an amusement park. And this must be a nice amusement park because they literally have, you know how they'll like take a picture of you?
Yeah.
Well, this amusement park luckily has cameras, so they record your whole roller coaster ride for each seat.
Oh, wow.
And then you can like purchase the video. I'm not really sure because usually you purchase a picture like in a little keychain. But So he was riding it, and they have the video of it, which is amazing. But he was riding it, and him and like his wife or girlfriend or whatever are having a really good time. And then all of a sudden, he's got his arms up, and you see him reach to catch something, and it's a cell phone, and he catches it. He caught this person's iPhone X, and everyone else was like so excited. Like he said, when they got off the ride, when you go to watch your video, he said everyone was just watching his. They all started cheering and clapping, which is funny because like on Reddit, that's what they say if someone's telling like clearly a fake story. They said, and everyone cheered, you know?
Yeah.
But in this case, they literally did. Everyone was so excited. He said he went up to the guy and like the guy gave him a hug and he gave his phone back. And I think this story's amazing because in 8th grade, we went to an amusement park.
Yeah.
I had just saved up and bought myself a new Razor flip phone. I was so excited. It was black, like it was the back in black one from the commercials.
Yeah, and razors were like the cool thing. It was even before them BlackBerry things.
Yeah, it was like, it was so sweet. I was so excited about it. So when we went to the amusement park, I didn't want to take it out of my pocket because I was like, you know, I gotta keep this right on me. I didn't want to put it in a cubby hole that someone could steal it, whatever. Well, I had Bermuda shorts on.
We all did.
Which, yeah, it's depressing to think about. And I was on a wooden roller coaster, like a big one, and at some point, it fell out of my pocket. And I didn't realize until I got off the ride. We went to their like front desk or whatever to see if they had it. They didn't have it, whatever. Well, a guy ended up finding it who worked at the amusement park on the rides, and he mailed it to me, paid for postage and everything, because he called it. He turned it on. It was like a week later. It still had battery somehow. He turned it on and called my mom's house, and he got our address and mailed it to me for free and everything, and it still worked.
Yeah, and it was so nice of him to do that.
Yeah, it was so sweet. I'll never forget. I'm not gonna say it, but I'll never forget his name because I always am like, that's a nice dude. And it was kind of a weird name, but like, an iPhone wouldn't have been saved, you know?
Right.
Like that iPhone X would have definitely been destroyed.
Yeah, well, me and Zach were just talking either last night or the night before about how electronics now, cell phones, tablets, they're all made to be disposable.
Same with cars.
Which is so irritating because they're so expensive. They hold a lot of meaning, like they hold all your information, and yet if it breaks, you just have to get a new one.
Like this is the cheap version of the iPhone. It's like $400 cheaper than the iPhone X or whatever. And it's still enough that you could buy like a car that runs. Like
Yeah.
like a car that will last you like probably a year.
Like, why make electronics so disposable? I thought we were trying to move towards renewable things, or you know what I mean?
It's because they just want to make money.
I know,
It's
I
so
know
stupid.
it is, but it's very irritating.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like cars, you know, if you buy an old vehicle, if you take care of it, it can last, seriously, like your whole freaking life almost.
Yeah.
But if you buy a new vehicle, even if you take care of it, it's probably not going to last that long.
Right.
Like, it's not, they make cars to break down. I think it's like, usually like after like 10, 15 years, you start having issues. And it's literally so that you have to buy a new car.
And it's very frustrating because like people have old antique cars that still run great, or
Yeah.
like my friend still has a Boost Mobile flip phone and it works perfectly fine.
Yeah, and you know what? My husband we went to go get new phones, and he was going to buy a flip phone. So we asked, because he was like, yeah, I'll just buy a flip phone. Then when he's at work, he doesn't have to worry about it as much. You know, flip phones were really durable.
Yeah.
And they had one flip phone at the Sprint store, and guess how much it was?
What?
The same price, literally. It was like the same price as a lot of the Samsungs and iPhones. It was like $800 or something.
What?
Yeah. And it wasn't even like that cool of a looking one. Like it was just like a regular ass flip phone, like one that you would have gotten for like $100.
Okay, well he needs to go to Walmart and get one of them cheap ones.
Yeah, the Walmart does have cheap ones. Like I was like, this is your only option for a flip phone?
That's crazy.
It was weird, yeah.
Speaking of weird and crazy, my last story is about a Florida man, but he's not a crazy Florida man. He's actually a Florida surfer. So he was surfing, and so Daniel Wash, he is 40 years old, and he's a chiropractor, and he was surfing, And he never really tried to throw an air before, but he tried to throw one. And he landed on a shark, okay? He landed on a shark. It was 6 foot long and it took a bite out of him.
Oh my
He didn't
God.
see the shark as he was coming down out of the air, but he did see the shark after he was bit. He says it felt like a freight train hit him, and the first thing he could think of to just push away, get away. So he did. He grabbed his board and started paddling as fast as he could. It was in waist deep water, and it bit 4 of his fingers on his left hand and his left calf and shin.
Oh my God. I can't believe he could even think that fast to
Yeah.
get his board and try to get away, you know?
Yeah, like good thing it wasn't a more severe bite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like,
Well, and that must have knocked the wind out of him.
yeah, like I know, like I've never tried this trick before, but I'm 40 years old, so let's try it. And you land on top of a shark. That has to be the only time ever that a surfer has like fallen and landed on a shark.
Yeah, that's really bad luck.
Yeah.
We were just watching a thing about Sharknado, and
Oh my god.
I think it's from Sharknado. They showed this clip of this guy standing on land with a chainsaw like this, and a huge shark comes at him, and he goes through the shark with the chainsaw. And we were talking about it, and we're like, the scariest part of a Sharknado would be getting hit by the shark. They wouldn't be like trying to attack people on land.
No, they're scared.
Yeah, they would be like freaking out because they're in a tornado. But this lady, they had like scientists on there.
Hold on.
What?
Wouldn't it be a shark cyclone? Because of water?
I think so, but once it gets on land, doesn't the water go away? I don't know.
Okay.
But this scientist was on there, and she said that a Sharknado could happen. I swear to God. She was like, they were reviewing all these videos, like, oh, could this happen? Like, you know, reviewing all these, like, action movies with, like, disaster events.
Yeah.
And they said Sharknado was honestly pretty realistic.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, if it was so realistic, then they could have used better CGI
Well-
and graphics and stuff.
Not realistic as far as, like, what happens, but
Yeah.
the fact that there could be, like, that could happen.
Yeah.
It probably is going to happen. Honestly, with the way the world is right now, I would not be surprised.
So, you know, all of like the fires, the floods, the hurricanes, everything crazy that's been going on.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering if it is a repeat of history from the dinosaur times. Like, I know a meteor hasn't hit us yet, but the scientists just discovered new things about the meteor that hit Earth that killed all the dinosaurs. And apparently, they like dug into it and they found like traces of matter and stuff that kind of pointed to what happened once it struck land, and it caused fires, hurricanes, weather changes, like earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, like all this crazy stuff started happening. And when it hit, it released so much sulfur into the atmosphere that is what like made the ice age happen or whatever.
Yeah, well, you know, they call like that, it was, I forget what they call it, I think it's like a catastrophic event or something.
Yeah.
It's basically where something on the earth happens that kills all or most of like the life. Obviously not like all the plants and stuff, but whatever, like the ice age, like the meteor, you know, like those were all catastrophic events, you know? And we're in one right now. Like, so they're
Yeah.
supposed to happen, like they can predict when they happen, and we're literally already in one. And it's like, most people don't even know, you know? Like, I mean, it's not that bad yet, but like, I don't ever remember having this many level 5 hurricanes in 1 year.
Or 6 countries having humongous wildfires all at once, or like just everything that's going on.
Yeah, like, or every winter and every summer, they're like every winter they're like, this is the worst winter we've had in
Yeah.
70 years, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Everything's getting progressively worse.
every summer they're like, oh, fleas and ticks are going to be worse this year. You know, it's like everything. You can see it happening.
Yeah.
I don't know how people like deny the fact that it's happening, because literally you're experiencing it.
Because them people are irritated that they don't believe in why these people are saying why it's happening. Well, that's not the point. The point is it is happening.
That's what I always say. I say either way, even if you don't believe in man-made climate change, which is pretty irrefutable at this point. Like most 99% of scientists say it's men have an effect. Like even if you don't believe that's the main cause or that exists, it's still happening.
Right. Like no matter why, things are happening.
Like, did you ever see, there was a senator one time there was this Republican senator, I can't remember where he was from, but he literally brought in a snowball to the Senate floor and said, look, climate change isn't happening. I have proof right here. It's like, what? That literally makes no sense.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it's because, a lot of people think that climate change means it's going to just all of a sudden everywhere is going to be hotter. Which,
no, it just means things change.
Everything's more extreme.
Yeah.
So winters will be more extreme, which they're getting to be. Summers will be more extreme,
Yeah.
It's like, just because snow still exists doesn't mean climate change isn't real, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks.